very good morning to everybody, or good evening to you, and welcome to the Katie's Arms. Now, I know for you guys it's going to be 8 o'clock in the evening. I'm hoping we're going to have a good enough connection that this is going to work. But as per normal, if you can't hear me, let me know because I'm working off of a dongle at this very moment. I'm quite proud of myself because yesterday I couldn't make my dongle work and I had to get dongle help. But I've got my dongle working. But if the Wi-Fi goes down, frankly, there's piss all I can do about it. So, and many would argue that I'm much better when I'm muted. So we will call time on Katie's Arms if me and the dongle don't get along. So for you, it's now 8 p.m, or it should be. If you're in the UK, I can't even begin to work out the rest of the times in all the other countries, but a warm welcome to you if you're joining us from South Africa. Thank you for joining us, or from America. Thank you, East and West Coasts, and to our South African friends joining us. Obviously, massive hearts go out from us for all that's going on in your country not being talked about, and for what you've been through. And for those of you that have stood up and lined up with shopkeepers and landowners and others and tried to defend yourselves, bloody good on you. And if I was there, I'd be doing exactly the same. And where I am now, it is 5 a.m. in the morning. I am this annoying. I love mornings, particularly early mornings. And I'm all over the place time-wise anyway. But I woke up at 3. It was like, right, let's do this. Then I was like, 3 a.m. I have no one to play with. So I had to wait until 5 a.m. to speak to you guys. And I'm speaking to you from quarantine. I will get to your, there you go, kiss blowing. I will get to your questions, I promise. So I'm in quarantine in Sydney. And the main question people are asking, I think, is how the pissing hell did you get to Sydney? And there's a few things I really want to be very, very, very clear about on this. Number one, I can't really help you because how I got here is related to the stuff I've got in my passport. And that comes from being a gobby-mouthed old cow for 20 years worth and being, the Mail Online journalist and whatever. So that's part of the reason I managed to get here. The other reason is that at the same time as I went to America, Brits weren't allowed to America. When I went to Germany, British people weren't allowed to Germany. But I honestly say bollocks to the rules, but I don't have a method of sharing that for anybody else. And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I'm not like Farage. I haven't jumped on like a private plane or anything. I schlep the same way as anybody else, although clearly this place is lovely. I just don't have a route that anybody else can follow. What I specifically want to say about that is, I think this is bullshit. I think it's bullshit that I can be here and you can't. I think it's bullshit that families who need to visit relatives here, whether they're dying or not, frankly, people always say, I've got a dying relative and my heart goes out. But actually, maybe you've got a little baby you haven't visited. I know of a mother who hasn't been able to get back with her own baby. So it's bullshit that I'm here and you can't. And I've always called that, right? Since the start of this, 20 months ago, 24 months ago, whatever I was being called back then for saying it, lockdown is and remains the greatest hoax in human history. And the fact that I'm here is like, I'm no VIP, obviously, but those VIPs that did the Euros and shit like that, this is the same thing. They've made it okay I'm not within that group. I haven't been helped. I just freaking blast my way. But those VIPs at the Euros, it's all the same shit. And I'm hoping to be part of calling it out whilst I'm here. And I'm taking the punishment. I have 14 days locked in this room. Now, clearly, it's very lovely. Look, I've got a window. I've got oranges in a bowl, my darlings. Look, would you look at those? I hate those bloody oranges. Oranges like that are really bloody a pain in the arse, aren't they? No one ever... When was the last time you ever looked at an orange and thought, I'd love to peel that? No one wants to peel an orange. It's just like... But anyway, clearly, this place is lovely. And where we put, and I was just with those people as well at Heathrow, where we put people in quarantine in the UK at Heathrow is despicable. So I was with them on the fencing, being blasted by security for talking to them. They get put in the shitty First Western, Best Western, what's it called? Great Western? I don't even know. Places like we might stay for a night when we've got a flight, I get it, but they're doing 14 nights with just a bed. I can walk around here and I can see out. Sydney right now is locked down to death. So yesterday I was out there on the window trying to flash my tits at the office workers opposite, but there's no office workers to even flash them at. Not that they would give a shit about my tits. If they were in their offices, they'd be like, who's that wrinkly old cow with the tiny tits? But I was still out there trying to flash my tits, and there's no one in the offices for me to flash them at. I was brought to the door here. I don't have a door key here. I'm not allowed out. I was brought to the door here by a member of the army serving and a serving member of the navy, which was terribly exciting. And I did try to get them to come into my apartment, but they wouldn't. I think they were scared. I don't have a key. I'm not allowed out. I've been told that when they bring 3 meals a day to the door, right? When they bring them, they knock, and I've been told, flash them now. No, you'd be so disappointed. Honestly, they're just like two little things. Because like when you're little, right, your boobs are like, woo, plump, and they sit up. But when you've had children and everything, you know this. They just turn into like flaps. And I do think, if I decide to get false boobs ever, I don't know that I would, but they'd be so, I think I could put them in. In fact, if I bought a couple of bloody chicken fillets on Amazon, I think I could get them in, because it would only take one cut and there's so much spare space in there. I reckon I could do it myself. But I don't think that's something that they advise, is it? Doing your own breast implants. And also, my mother, my lovely mother. Mother, if you're watching this, for God's sake, go and watch Monty Don. We've discussed this in some detail. My darling mother had breast cancer when she was jolly young, 30-something. And it does rather run in our family. So that's another reason why, if they're this size, I can check them. And for anybody who doesn't know how to check their boobs, for God's sake, work it out. You get the soap, you rub around in a dramatic fashion, and you try and find lumps. And even if you don't find one, you might just have a nice time rubbing your own boobs. Do it in front of other people. That's my advice. Anyway, I'll stop doing that now. So I'm not allowed out of that door when they drop... Goddamn woman, make a point, you're waffling. This is what I do. I waffle on. How do people still come to the Katie's Arms and moan about me waffling on? What? How? We waffle, we do it every week, my darlings. We do it every week. Every week, yes, you're right, darling. Every week, I tell my mother to get off. Every week I waffle on. And every week some tosser here who probably smells their own foreskin for, their sort of time, they pass time by smelling their own foreskin, comes on here and tells me I waffle on. Offity fuck, darling. We don't need you here. We don't want you here. My Instagram was never about followers or listeners. Just piss off. We don't need your sort. We have people here who sit and laugh at me. That's it. That's all we're trying to be. I'm not allowed out the door. When they drop food outside the door, I've been told, right, in all seriousness, by the police officer who checked me in after the sergeant in the foyer had read me the list of rules. The police officer who checked me in told me, when they knock on my door, I have to wait 30 seconds till I can open the door. And then I'm allowed to open the door, but I think it might be the 5 a.m. thing, right, for jet lag. Got a bit hysterical. I can open the door, but I only do it in their face mask. So what I've been doing, this is so sad. This is the stuff I would always have kept to myself in the past, so that when people were like, she's such a bitch, she's the biggest bitch, she's the bitch, and I'd be like, no, I'm this woman, actually. So I've been lying in wait round the corner in my bathroom. And can I drink alcohol all day long? I could. I haven't drunk anything. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Hold on. I'm even going to make a note. Alcohol, because I won't remember. I've been lying in wait. What I'm trying to do is, as someone knocks... Oh, sorry. God, my neighbours are going to hate me, aren't they? As someone knocks on the door, I'm trying to get to the door and spring it open and frighten the shit out of them and do it naked with no face mask. And what I'm after is, I want the sergeant in the foyer to come up and tell me off. so that I can stand there naked while he tells me off. So that's one game that I'm playing. In my head, what's the other thing that's happening is I've just joined Where Are You? I'm in Sydney, I've been locked down, I haven't got a room key, I'm not allowed out. I'm trying to do a naked exposure to scare a staff member, or hopefully a member of the Army or Navy. So my other thing is that when I get locked down or told I can't do something, as you will know, it makes me want to do it more. Like, Katie, you're not allowed to say that when I'm writing this article. Katie, you're not allowed to tweet that. Watch me. Katie, you're fired. Yeah, I knew that before I did it, but I still did it. So I've got all of these naughty thoughts because I've basically been put here captive. So my next plan, I've got olive oil by my cooker things. I'm supposed to be like cooking or whatever people do. I'm going to rub myself in baby oil. I'm going to do a streak down the corridor. And then when they come up to grapple me back in, I'm going to be like really, really oily. Going to be like a streaker on a football pitch, but way better, because I'm going to be on floor 28 of this apartment block. And the Navy are going to have to drag me back to my room by my feet. So that's my other plan. And I've checked in with somebody who's sort of tried to keep me sane here. She was like, do it on day 7. So that's day 7 plan, is to streak in baby oil and get wrestled back to my room. I probably get thrown out the country. But frankly, darlings, if now's not the time for streaking in baby oil, when is? So that's the rules here. The other rule that I got told downstairs by 2 military people and the Navy and the Army and whoever else had to accompany me. I had a police escort from the fucking airport. Me? What am I going to do? The other thing, what did they say? Oh yes, if an alarm goes, and then I had my face down, face mask down, so I was chatting with the nice guy from reception, and they were like, could you put your face mask back on? I'm not going to be good at this, am I? So they told me that if an alarm, I'm on the 28th floor here, right? I'm not saying the word Grenfell, because that's disrespectful to Grenfell people, but Grenfell, they told me if an alarm goes off, right, like the fire alarm, I have to stay put. I have to stay put and wait to be given directions and assistance. I looked at him and I went, yeah, right. They think that if the fire alarm goes off, me, Katie Hopkins, not only am I not good at being told what to do, I'm specifically geared to react to things like alarms. Like over a long years, I've gained a special set of skills, and that would involve evacuating this building if required. I would do that. I will get every last man out. That's how I'm built. And they think I'm going to stay in this room when the fire alarm goes off. Are they pissed? Do they know me? I will be clearing corridors, I will be hoofing big men on my shoulders, I will be running the stairs. And if I don't make it out, great, but everyone else is going to make it out. And I ain't sitting here in my frickin' face mask waiting to be told what to do. So that's the kind of bullshit inside this room that I don't have a key for, that I'm captive in for 14 nights. And then they want to come and test me. I think yesterday they told me today they're coming for a test. So I'm going to have funsies with the testers as well. I'm going to say the word vagina a lot. When they come up with a smear, I'm going to take off all my bottom half and cock one leg up on a table and offer them my vagina. Ask if they want to do a smear test of that as well. I mean, it's unfortunate. I feel sorry for the staff who are actually policing this, because I know, you know, many of these people, I mean, talk to the lads in the lift. I was like, what a load of shit this is. And they were like, yeah, you must be bored out your shitting trees. Yeah, I bet you didn't sign up to serve your country to end up fucking escorting some old bint from England up an elevator to her apartment. That is not why you signed up to be a member of the army. And they're like, yeah. So I totally get it. And I respect everybody who's having to do this shit. But I'm still going to have fun with this while I'm here. So the idea is you don't go mental while you're here. They do me this week. Oh, we have an entire team 24/7. There's a mental health. There's a this. Fuck that. If I was gonna lose my shit, I'd just find a way to throw myself down the stairwell. I'm not gonna talk to someone about my problems. There's one rule in life. It's don't talk. I mean, talk to me, obviously. Always. Never tell, HR or a mental health person that you've got issues, particularly not if you're trying to get into a country because they're just going to throw you the fuck out, aren't they? Right. What did I mean to talk about? Let me tell you about, look, it's 20 past. Film it all. Yeah, I should. I must film. I'm going to film the oily grappling stunt. In fact, there's freaking CCTV. I've already been told off for, what did I do? I put my bins out naked. And that's not allowed. Oh my God, they're just frightened. They're so, I think because they've been put behind all of this plastic stuff for so long, they're frightened of nakedness. So they're frightened of faces, but they're really frightened of nudity. I don't think any of them have seen a naked woman for a very long time. And I don't mean that against the military boys, because they could have anybody they wanted. I just mean I don't think they've seen nakedness. And I'm overly naked. And I know what's happening. I know this me. This me is, I get naughtier. It's like a seesaw. Give me more rules here, I get naughtier. Squash me, I get louder. It's always been the same, right? Right, let me tell you quickly about Sydney and what's going on here, in case you've got relatives here, and Melbourne. I'm going to be everywhere I can be. But you'll know if you're here or if you're in the UK, you should know they've locked this place down like a bastard. Bastard! Oh my God, hold on, can I do it? They've locked this place down. I'm trying to do an impression of, so the what's she called? The Premier of New South Wales is called Gladys Berejiklian. What a lovely Australian name. Right, sound like the pub landlord. So Gladys Berejiklian has locked this place down, and you're only allowed to do essential shit, and you're not allowed out for the next 72 hours. You have to stay home. You're not allowed to get this. This is great, this rule. You're not allowed to browse at the supermarket. So the supermarket, you're not allowed to browse. You have to keep moving at all times, says Gladys Berejiklian. So if you go to, I can't obviously go friggin' anywhere because I haven't got a room key, and obviously I have to stay in here and burn to death if there's a fire. But if you're a Sydney sider and you want to go shopping, you're not allowed to browse. So you have to keep a constant momentum as you go up and down the aisles. I cannot wait to get out and do a piss take of that. Just like, supermarket sweep. In case I get freaking COVID, I'm going to have 1,000 cucumbers. Did you need those tenner, ladies? No, but I haven't got time to look. I'm just buying fucking anything because I don't want to get the COVID. So that's going to happen. I'm going to need a GoPro. I'm going to need a film crew. You see, this is one of the problems with being labelled like a far right-wing Nazi Islamophobe. I can't get any film crews to work with me because we'd have such a laugh. Imagine just doing reality with me. It'd be brilliant. So I'm going to supermarket sweep, get to the checkout, and they'll be like, that's $2,024, please. What accent is that? I'm not in America. So the bigger tosser than this Gladys Bird, who's the Premier of New South Wales, is this twat called Dan Andrews, who I've had my eye on, obviously, for a long time over my large journalistic career. But Dan Andrews is a dick of the highest order. He looks like a guy who's at a wedding and is 6 pints worse for wear. He's already got his tie bit undone, and his collar was too tight before he even got to the weddings. He's a fat twat and is at least 60 kilos over what he should be, but is still wearing the clothes from when he used to be a bit slimmer. And he's all like, bleh, 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 bleh. That's Dan Andrews. He's a proper twat weasel. So he does a bit of like the ginger dwarf from the north. So anything that Gladys here does, by the way, Gladys has her eyes exceptionally close together, right? So properly close together. Gladys's eyes are as close to, she looks like a small mouse because her eyes are just literally either side of her nose. So that woman's peripheral vision, I mean, she just fucking can't have any. Her peripheral vision must be the side of her face. If ever I saw a Premier, do look her up, Gladys Berejiklian. Like, she can't, like, I don't know how she even navigates a room. She must have to, like, physically turn her head to be able to get through a doorway. If anybody needed wing mirrors to navigate their own fucking personal space, it would be this Premier. But worse than this one is this twat in Melbourne, Dan Andrews, the drunk at the wedding, and he basically wants to out-knob her. So she says, right, we're going to go into a full lockdown. Everybody's got to stay home. You're not allowed to browse at a supermarket. Then Dan Andrews comes out and goes, fuck that, watch this. Puts his tiny willy out on the table, drinks another 15 pints and go, we're going to have a 5-day snap lockdown. And you're not going to go anywhere. And you're not even going to be able to go more than 5 kilometres from your home address. And you're not allowed to go out to even take a piss. In fact, if you want to have a shit, you're going to have to put your hand up and ask me. Okay, my Australian accent needs working on. But he's a dickhead. Okay, people are laughing, so that's good. Always remember that you're laughing at me. Always remember that if we laugh together, we're winning. And always remember the reason we're doing this was Katie's Arms was about being a pub where we would be together as if we were on a night out. I can tell you, a night out with me, fucking hilarious. So that's Dan Andrews. So more on the key figures to watch out for here in the UK. Here in Sydney, when I have them, I'll let you know when I'm getting out of quarantine, and I will let you know how my little stunt goes with the olive oil and the military men. I don't think it's going to go well for me. Hey, the next Katie's Arms will be like, here I am back in the UK. I was deported for putting baby oil on my nipples and making a run for it down the corridor of my isolation suite. It's not a suite. Although it's very nice and I do have oranges. Fucking hate oranges. Oh, oranges. I could do that thing I'm doing where I hide behind the door, wait for the knock, and then just pelt them with oranges. What if it's a lady? A couple of things I wanted to say about back in the UK. I never forget people. Oh, yeah, and then I will promise to, yes, thank you. How am I finding isolation? Listen, I've done a lot of isolation in different ways. So I did 15 days in Barbados alone. I know you're going to say, what the big fucking deal? But Barbados alone, when there's no tourists on the island, and I'm the only white woman on the island. Let's just say the locals are pretty friendly. And, there's an awareness to that. And same with arriving in Mexico City that kills more journalists than any other place. 15 days there, when I'm arriving, I'm like, come on then. And I'm ready for it. Here, obviously, I've been protected, so it's very relaxing in the sense that I don't really have any responsibility, and then I'm just going to try and have discipline. As for the alcohol, I'm going to try and do it. I'm trying to do this alcohol thing where I'm like, right, that's it, 14 days, I'm not going to drink. I've lasted 1 day, but there's a massive bottle of Merlot I've got in the cupboard up there. I think that'll be shit by tonight. And also, I don't like anybody who does any of that. Right, I'm doing dry January. I'm doing freaking this. I'm giving up shit for Lent. I'm dry. Fuck off. January is the most miserable month in the UK ever. So why would you do it dry? The people I know that do dry January, you're very old. Fuck you, Mike. You should see my ass, because my ass is older and my ass is still better looking than your face. Do fuck off. Dry January, people that do dry January, they always is it Barefoot Merlot? Darling, I love you for saying that. No, I don't think it will be. Dry January, they have to tell you, don't they? Oh, I'm doing dry January. Do it in a really loud voice. I'm doing dry January. Oh, are you? Offerty piss, you boring old trout. Go and hang out with your, what's that bloody awful thing? NCT mums. Oh, I'm so special. My vagina's so special. I can't possibly go to the NHS. I'm going to have my own private baby group that I hang around with for the rest of my life. We're going to mostly wear stripes. What's that frickin' shop called? Not J. Crew. What's it called? That shop where they just sell stripes. Someone will help me. I don't know. Anyway, NCT mums, you'll always know. What's the weather like? Oh, that's so darling, isn't it? That's such a British thing. Well, it's actually pitch black because it's 5 a.m, 5:25. I promise to leave you all in 5 minutes. I never run over because you all have lives. That involves not listening to me waffling on. And I have got in this place, there's this little chink of air that I can get, and the sun comes through there from 9:45 to 10:15. So from 9:45 on a morning, you'll find me like this, trying to breathe the small chink of sunlight. And I know that it's really, really hot in the UK, and I'm so pissed off that I've missed out on the heat wave. I'm like, old people are dying and I'm not there. Damn. I don't mean that that's great that old people are dying. But if it's hot enough for old people to be dying, that's my kind of temperature. I love it. I don't even know, how was I even born in the UK? It's unbelievable. Right, 4 minutes, my darlings. How am I still not dead? I do wonder that. And actually, it's one of the gifts of my life is, did you hear that? Life. There we go. I'm nearly Australian. Just call me Pamela. I have actually bought my Pamela Anderson red swimming costume. That would be a great stunt, wouldn't it? To pretend to dress up like Pamela in heels. Yeah, anyway. How am I not dead? I don't know. And the joy of my life is that I am already on extra time. So my seizures were supposed to kill me off when I was 35. I think I was given 2 years for a seizure to kill me. And then I had the massive brain surgery. And so at 46, I'm well into extra time. Oh, I meant to talk to you about football. Never mind. I'm well into extra time. And that's why I have the attitude I have. And that's why I'm so lucky. So, you know, they came for all my stuff. They took my money. They took my house. They took my, you know, the establishment that didn't like me speaking the truth or going to places and showing the truth. But then I also got given the gift of extra time. And if they take everything you have and then you get the gift of extra life, nothing matters. And if my time was up tomorrow, I'm so reconciled with that. And I'm also very reconciled. I've touched the edge of death and it wasn't scary. It was very, very calm. So if anybody out there is terminally ill, in fact, it's a chapter I've written in my next book, is about touching death and it being absolutely fine. And in many ways, very relaxing. Probably more relaxing than being in a quarantine room, to be honest. Because when you're on your last bit, you don't worry about anything. So yes, your flippant comment, how am I not dead yet? There's actually a massive story behind that, and it's a glorious one. Right, so I better go. I love you and leave you. Missed most of you talking. Well, how rude. I'm just saying, I was up at 4:30 4 in the end to be here, and you missed most of this. I will download this, I will post it. If you're moaning at me on YouTube that this is in the wrong orientation, this is the only orientation I know. I don't know if it works the other way, I have no idea, but just stop moaning about it. In fact, stop moaning about everything. And let's just find a way to laugh together and laugh at the bastards, because this is utterly, utterly mad. You are living through the greatest hoax in human history. They are trying to take everything from you. And one of the very best and most powerful weapons we have is a sense of humour. And someone like me is probably a massive thorn in their side, and I will continue to be for as long as I can in the years to come. Right, how long have I got left here? This is only day 2. So next week you'll see me, I'll be like crying in the corner with greasy hair, like itching my own ass, going, I need to be let go. Yeah, so maybe this is just like an early euphoria and it'll die off. Or maybe this is just how I am. This is why my husband needs a break. And my children. That's why they don't mind me being away. Okay. Laughter is the best medicine. And you've made me laugh lots. Thank you. Well, thank you. And thank you all for all your kindness and your kind emails. I'm katie@katiehopkins.co.uk. If you need me or if I can help you with any of the bullshit, which it is, and keep laughing, or play this back and make yourself laugh again, because if you're laughing, everything seems a little bit better. Okay, I'll see you next week when I'll be rocking like a polar bear in a Chinese zoo. Oh, that's not very